big one. We are officially stranded on the highway. Look who's driving on the highway for the first time. That would be Miss Corey. What do you think?
I mean, it's kind of normal.
Yeah.
It's normal driving, but you just gotta be more cautious. Conscious.
Yeah, she's pulling the trailer, by the way. Yeah, she's pulling the RV for the first time. Look at that. That's a cool setup. Welcome to a new episode of Joyous Voyagers Highway Apple Eating Contest. So, we're waiting for a AAA to come. We're in some stop and go traffic for about 20 minutes. We believe the truck radiator busted. We weren't driving too fast. I checked the coolant just yesterday. We had plenty in there. We were sitting in stop and go traffic. Then all of a sudden I started going. The pedals started kind of feeling a little weird, but then boof, a big old puff of smoke goes out the back. I get over, pull over. There's liquid all over the spare tire, on the bumper, at the engine.
Something not good.
No, we're supposed to be in Sarasota tonight, and we had reservations. So it's been a hustle. I just got my AAA RV coverage set up. They're on their way to tow the truck to the Ford dealer, 20 minutes back that way in the middle of Bumblebee, Florida, wherever the heck we are.
Yeah.
Then I had to find an RV park, and hopefully AAA is going to take the RV to the RV park where we're going to have full hookups and have to stay there for a day until tomorrow until the truck can get looked at.
And then I guess we'll just Uber to the Ford dealership for something.
Yeah, might have to.
I mean,
I didn't even think about that.
we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, but the goal tonight is just to get somewhere with full hookups and assess the truck damage tomorrow. Thinking about upgrading the truck. I don't know how much we'd get it on trade-in value when we bring it in broken.
Not as much as we could if we got it fixed and then did that at a different Ford dealership.
I mean, if it's at a Ford dealership, they have it all on record what gets done. But
Anyway.
still, optics. RV life, you can't predict it. I'm glad I was driving.
Yeah, no,
She was just driving.
Yeah, we had just switched not long before then.
But here, I'll try to show you all the damage here. I usually don't bring out the camera in situations like these because my patience can get the best of me sometimes, but you can see it's a little spotty there. Got fluid there. I don't know if you can tell the difference. This is all like oily from all the splat. Like I said, I think that's the radiator fluid. But now we're on the side of the highway, waiting, just waiting. Trying not to create a bunch of traffic, but we'll keep you updated. This is gonna be a fun video. So we have an update. We are stranded on the side of the highway. AAA refused to take the RV, saying that they couldn't do it. I have a local that I found calling the shop. He's coming here and he's gonna hook up the trailer and take us. I think it's single cab F150. So we're gonna have our dogs in our laps and it'll be very interesting. We are officially stranded on the highway. I didn't want to do this and put us in this situation, but the truck has to get to that Ford dealer by 5 o'clock because they close and the gate would be closed. And to keep doing our trip here, this whole 10-day stretch, we have to have the truck fixed tomorrow. I already booked RV spot about 6 miles up the road. We just have to get that camper to the RV spot and then wait tomorrow for the details on the truck. But it's a bummer. Joy on the road. But the dogs are doing good. Look at them. Nico gets water. This is by far the craziest thing in our RV life that we've had to experience. All right, so this is who's taking us out of here. Hello everyone. I was waiting to get a hold of Corey and us sit down and talk about this together, but I'm just documenting a little bit here for you for an update. Last you saw was yesterday, us getting picked up off the side of the road, the camper. So we got the truck here to the dealership, called AAA. They outsourced it to Gainesville Towing. I had RV coverage and they were refusing to pull the RV along with taking the truck. We've done this before early in our trip. So I had to make the decision to go and get the truck here so it can at least get looked at in the morning because this is Thanksgiving week. So I was going to figure out how to get the RV in our home and us off the road next. We called around, found a local tow shop that referred me to TJ Hook It Up Towing. He did a great job getting our RV. He picked us up in that truck, used all that truck's power to pull our RV into a campground at Travelers Campground off 75. Did a great job getting us in. They have us at a monthly site, and they only charged us for one night, but reserved us for a couple days off the schedule just so we were safe. I had to call RV Royal Coachman down in the Nokomis/Sarasota area. They've been extremely nice too. Shifting our dates, we've extended our stay there further, canceled our trip to Cumberland Island to spend more time down in Sarasota once we actually get down there. So we want to spend time with, family. The most important thing for Thanksgiving, right? So I Uber over to the dealership because the dealership says they can't find the key. So I'm like, well, I can figure this situation out a lot easier if I'm there. I also, before we left, grabbed our extra key to the truck and had that in the RV. Mind you, that key was just to get into the door. It's not an ignition key. But I always figured, if you're locked out of your truck because you left the keys in there, at least you can get in. And then if you needed to do a locksmith thing, you could get inside the truck. But the computer on the truck is locked down. The alarm goes off. That key doesn't start the ignition. They can't get the truck back there to fix it. They were able to squeeze us in. At first they said they wouldn't be able to do it all this week. They only have 4 mechanics. It's Thanksgiving. So what happened on this thing was the water pump blew. The water pump blew out. Loosened the tension rod, it started wiggling, and then the belt snapped. And that kind of slowed us down. It gave a truck warning, service needed for battery service charge or something like that, letting us know the battery's doing all the work, nothing else is, powering the motor, just the battery, and then the truck would die shortly after, is what I've read. $762 fix here at the dealer to get it done right. There was another local place I called that they weren't going to be able to do it. That said they could do it by Wednesday. So our situation here is I'm waiting for a locksmith company to hopefully come and rekey me a computerized truck key to then get this back there so they can fix it. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Hopefully this will come full circle and get done. I mean, we're staying at a great Travelers Campground. I mean, it's a big old place, but they have like an animal sanctuary. It's very pretty. And we had a nice sunset stroll and able to decompress. And the biggest thing with these situations is, people's like, oh man, the struggles of RV life and traveling. This would have happened if we were just driving the truck. This is normal wear and tear is what, we were told, and kind of what's expected with a water pump after 112,000 miles driving all over the nation and all. So the fact that we had the RV, it was a bit of a process. It cost a little bit more money to get an RV park, and we're having a juggle of reservations, but we do have our home base that we've been living in for years. Our dogs feel like they're at home. They're settled. We're not in a hotel like Motel 5 on the side of the road or wherever out in the middle of nowhere, Florida, paying $120 a night, staying in a crap hole. We're in our environment. The RV brought us back closer to a home base and some peace and something we can work from. We're still working virtually this week a little bit too. So, we have our amenities, we have our things, we have our food in the fridge. So, you know, RV life just brings you back down to the campfire. It always just sucks you back into the basics and what's needed. Shelter, food, and a good time. Granted, we do need to move this. We need to get this truck to Sarasota. Praying, and I believe that this is all gonna work itself out. But it is just one of those unfortunate things, and this is the first time in 3 years we've had any issues with this truck or on this magnitude with our line of traveling and everything. So we'll see. I'll show you here what the issue is. So basically, if you look right here, see that wiggling? That's the belt that gave out and the tension rod with the water pump. That's the update. I am tempted to make a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, this is a 2015, 112,000 miles. We know we're probably gonna end up pulling a bigger RV one day anyways. I'm almost like, hey, what is it if I just trade this in and get a different truck and then hit the road? But I feel like that's a little bit more emotional and impulsive, just to say the least. But it's still an option because I've seen other people do it. Sometimes you have to switch vehicles on the road. When you're traveling on the road and your tow vehicle messes up, you need a new one. Corey's back at the RV camp and I'm hanging out here trying to get this thing fixed. So we shall see. Updates coming soon. Okay, as you can tell, I'm driving a truck. Long day at the dealership for this rodeo. So what happened was when the tow truck driver I found out dropped off, yeah, you're wondering where's the key, right? Where was the key? So when the tow driver dropped off the keys, he gave it to the guy in the parts department. I guess the parts department guy didn't think to bring the keys to the office in the morning. He got here at 7:30. I got here at 8 o'clock. Around noon, he just decides to come up and ask people, hey, do these keys go to a truck? Someone made a delivery yesterday with a drop-off truck. So the entire time I've been up here and calling AAA, I filed a complaint for the tow company. Lost property. I had a locksmith coming out. It's going to cost me a good chunk for a new digital key. I had to cancel all that when the key surfaced around lunchtime, and that put us back another 3-4 hours to get this fixed, but it is fixed now. I'm glad about that. It blew out 2 days on our trip, and the Royal Coachman down in Nokomis area, Florida, did a great job working with us. They basically took a couple days off from the beginning of our trip and then moved it to the end of the trip. So we extended our stay 2 or 3 days. But we also are missing, Cumberland Island and Jekyll Island and the coast of Georgia we were trying to do at the end of this trip. I'm gonna do a little test drive here, take it on the highway, try to get the truck washed because it just smells like fluid and everything, and just test this thing out before we hit the road in the morning. We're gonna stay another night at the Travelers Campground. I can't really drive 3.5 hours to Sarasota right now mentally. It's just been a full day.